In the market, typical social values of exchange do not come into play. If you don't understand this and find a way to reconcile the difference between the social norms you grew up with and the way the market works, you will be continue to project your hopes, dreams, and desire onto the market, believing it's going to do something for you. When it doesn't, you will feel angry, frustrated, emotionally disturbed, and betrayed. Taking responsibility means acknowledging and accepting at the deepest part of your identity that you or the market are completely responsible for your success or failure as a trader. Granted, the market purpose to separate you from your money, but in the process of doing so, it also provides you with an index system of opportunity for you to take money from it. When the price move, the movement represents the collective action of everyone participating at the moment. The market also generates information about itself and makes it extremely easy to enter and exit trades, depending, of course, on the number of people participating. From the individual perspective, price movement information and the ability to enter and exit trade present opportunity to see something and to act on what you perceive. During each movement, the market are open. You have an opportunity to enter a position, listen, lighten up a position, and add to a position or exit a position. These are all opportunities to increase yourself by taking profit or at least cutting your loss. Let me pose a question: do you feel responsible for fulfilling some other trader expectation, hopes, dreams, and desire? Of course, you don't. It sounds absurd to even you. However, if you ever find yourself blaming the market and feeling betrayed, this is essentially what you are doing. You are expecting the collective action of everyone participating in the market to make the market act in a way that gives you what you want. You have to learn for yourself how to get what you want out of the market. The final major step in the learning process is taking complete and absolute responsibility. Taking responsibility means believing that all of your outcomes are self-generated and result are based on the interpretation of market information. The decision you make and the action you take as a result. Taking anything this complete responsibility takes up to measure psychological obstacle that will block your success. The first, you will establish an adversary relationship with the market that takes you out of the constant flow of opportunities. Second, you will be misleading yourself into believing that your trading problems and lack of success can be rectified through market analysis. Let's consider the first obstacle. When you project any degree of responsibility onto the market for giving any you money or cutting your losses, the market can all too easily take on quality of an adversary or enemy. Lost losing money, expect the market to do something from different from what it did. It will tap you into same childlike feeling of pain, anger, resentment, and powerlessness that all of us felt when someone took something away from us, didn't give us what we wanted, or would not let us do what we wanted. No one likes to feel denied, especially if we believe that getting what we want will make us happy. In each of these situations, something or someone outside of us prevents us from expressing ourselves in some particular way. Some are also forced to acting us the inner force of our desire and expectation. See, it will necessary to ascend the market, the power of an outside force that either gives or takes away. Consider the fact that the market is information from a neutral perspective. That means the market doesn't know what you want or expect, nor does it care unless, of course, you trade the kind of position that can have a major impact on prices. Otherwise, each movement, each bid, and each offer gives you the opportunity to do something. You can put on a trade, take profit, or take off a loser. This is also true for those of you who are flow traders and a person known to other flow traders. You may also know your position and to your detriment purposely take advantage of that knowledge. It just means that you have to be faster and more focused or take whatever limitation you have in this area into consideration and trade accordingly. From the market perspective, each movement is neutral to you, the observer. Every movement and price change can have meaning. But why do this meaning exist? The meaning are based on what you are learning and exist inside the mind, not in the market. The market doesn't it has meaning or interpret the information it generates about itself. Although there are always individuals who offer an interpretation if you will intuition. Furthermore, the market doesn't know how you define an opportunity or a loss. The market doesn't know whether you perceive it as an endless system of opportunity to enter and exit trade for both profit and loss at each and every moment, or whether you perceive it as a greedy monster ready and willing in any given moment to devote your money. If you perceive the endless system of opportunity to enter and exit trade without self-criticism and regret, then you will be in the best frame of mind to act in your own best interest and learn from your experience. On the other hand, if what you perceive in market information is painful in some ways, then you will naturally try to avoid that pain by either consciously or subconsciously blocking that information from your awareness. In the process of blocking that information, you will systematically cut yourself off from any number of opportunities to induce yourself. In other words, you cut yourself off from the opportunity flow. Furthermore, it will feel like the market is against you, but only if you expect it to do something for you or if you believe that it owes you or something. If someone or something is against you and causes you pain, how are you likely to respond? You will feel compelled to fight, but what exactly are you fighting? The market is certainly not fighting you. Yes, the market wants your money, but it also provides you with the opportunity to take as much as you can. Although it may feel as if you are fighting the market or it is fighting you, the reality is you are simply fighting the negative consequence of not fully accepting that the market owes you nothing and that you need to take advantage of the opportunity it presents by yourself 100%, not 1 degree less. The way to take minimum advantage of a situation where you are being offered unlimited opportunity to do something for yourself is to get in the flow. The market does not have a flow. It is often erratic, especially in the certain time frames, but it does respect symmetrical pattern that repeat themselves over and over again. Obviously, it's a contradiction to flow with something you are against. If you want to start sensing the flow of the market, your mind has to be really free of fear, anger, regret, betrayal, despair, and disappointment. You won't have a reason to express the negative emotion when you assume absolute responsibility. Earlier, I said that when you don't take responsibility, one of the major cycles of obstacles that can block success is that you will mislead yourself into believing that your trading problems and lack of opportunity can be rectified through market analysis. To illustrate this point, let's go back to a novice trader who started out with a carefree state of mind until he experienced his first loss. After winning with such ease and effortlessness, the abrupt shift to emotional pain can be quite shocking. Not shocking enough. However, to quit trading beside in his mind the situation wasn't his fault anyway. The market did it to him. Instead of quitting, the great feeling that he experienced when he was winning will be fresh in his mind and will inspire him with a sense of determination to continue trading. Only now he's going to be smarter about it. He's going to put some effort into it and learn everything he can about the market. It's perfectly logical to think that if he can win not knowing anything, he will be able to clean up when he does know something. But there is a big problem here for that very few. If any traders will have any awareness of until long after the damage is done, learning about the market is fine and doesn't cause a problem in itself. It's the underlying reason for learning about the market that will ultimately prove to be his own doing. As I said a moment ago, the sudden shift from joy to pain usually creates quite a psychological shock. Very few people ever learn how to reconcile this kind of experience in a healthy way. Techniques are available, but they aren't widely known. The typical response in most people, especially in the type of person attracted to trading, is revenge. For traders, the only way to extract that revenge is to conquer the market, and the only way to conquer the market is through market knowledge, or so they think. In other words, the underlying reason for why the novice trader is learning about the market is to overcome the market, to do something to it and himself, and most important, to prevent the market from hurting him again. He is not learning the market simply as a means to give himself a systematic way of winning, but rather as a way to either avoid pain or prove something that has absolutely nothing to do with looking at the market from an objective perspective. He doesn't realize it, but as soon as he made the assumption that knowing something about the market can prevent him from experiencing pain or can help satisfy a desire for defense or to prove something, he sealed his fate to become a loser. In effect, what he has done is set up a irreconcilable dilemma. He is learning how to recognize and understand the market collective behavior pattern, and that's good. It even feels good. He is inspired because he assumes he is learning about the market in order to become a winner. As a result, he will typically go on a knowledge quest learning about trend lines, chart patterns, support and resistance, candlestick market profile, point and line charts, Elliott waves, Fibonacci retracement, oscillators, relative strength, stochastics, and many more technical tools are too numerous to mention. Curiously, even though his knowledge has increased, he now finds that is developed a problem expecting his trades. He hesitates, second guess himself, or doesn't put on a trade at all, in spite of any number of clear signals to do so. It's all frustrating, even maddening, because what happened doesn't make sense. He did what he was supposed to do. He learned only to find that the more he learned, the less he took advantage of. He would never believe that he did anything wrong by devoting himself to learning. He simply did it for the wrong reason. You won't be able to trade effectively if he's trying to prove something or anything for that matter. If you have to win, if you have to be right, if you can't lose or can't be wrong, you will cause yourself to define perceived categories of market information as painful. In other words, you will be as painful as any information the market generates that is in opposition to what will make you happy. The dilemma is that our mind is wired to both physical and emotional pain, and learning about the market will not compensate for the negative effect our pain avoidance mechanism have on our trading. Everybody understands the nature of avoiding physical pain. Accidentally set your hand on a hot button and your hand moves away from the heat automatically. It's an instinctive reaction. However, when it comes to avoiding emotional pain and negative consequences, especially for traders, very few people understand the dynamic. It is absolutely essential to your development that you understand this negative effect and learn how to take conscious control in a way that helps to fulfill your goals. Our mind have a number of ways to shield us from information that we have learned to perceive as painful. For example, at a conscious level, we can rationalize, justify, or make a case for staying in a losing trade. Some of the more typical ways to do this are to call our trading bodies, talk to our broker, or look at indicators we never use. All for the express purpose of gathering non-painful information in order to deny the validity of painful information. At a subconscious level, our mind will automatically alter, distort, or especially exclude information from our conscious awareness. In other words, we don't know at a conscious level that our pain avoidance mechanisms are either excluding or altering the information we know from the market. As the word taking responsibility will sound simple, the concept is neither easy to grasp nor easy to put into practice in your trading. Taking responsibility सुन्दाखेरि चाहिँ धेरै राम्रो सुनिन्छ तर यो कन्सेप्ट चाहिँ neither easy to grasp nor easy to put into practice in your trading होइन. We have all heard the words and been comfortable with the need to take responsibility so many times in life. It is easy to take for granted that we know exactly what this means. टेकिङ रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी भनेर चाहिँ एकदमै सुन्दाखेरि चाहिँ एकदमै राम्रो सुनिन्छ के अरे एकदमै सजिलो सुनिन्छ तर पुरा ट्रेडिङमा प्र्याक्टिस गर्न चाहिँ लास्टै गाह्रो हुन्छ. हामीले चाहिँ यति धेरै सकेको हुन्छौँ कि यो ट्रेकिङ रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ कि हामीलाई चाहिँ एकदमै ग्रान्टेड लिन्छौँ हामी कुरालाई चाहिँ एकदमै भावना नदिने टाइपको. टेकिङ रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी इन यर ट्रेडिङ एन्ड लर्निङ द एप्रोप्रिएट प्रिन्सिपल अफ सक्सेस आर इनएक्सट्रिकेबली कनेक्टेड. रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी लिनु र एप्रोप्रिएट प्रिन्सिपलहरू थाहा पाउनु ट्रेडिङमा चाहिँ एकदमै धेरै कनेक्टेड हुन्छ. You have to understand with every fiber of your being the ways in which you are run. You have to understand with every fiber of your being the ways in which you are and are not you are and are not reasons for success a trader. जसरी बुझ्नु पऱ्यो होइन कसरी के अरे हामीले चाहिँ बुझ्नुपर्छ कसरी चाहिँ हामी चाहिँ एज अ ट्रेडर रेस्पोन्सिबल हुन्छ भने ओन्ली देन क्यान यु टेक अन द क्यारेक्टरिस्टिक द्याट विल एलाउ यु टु जोइन द स्लेड ग्रुप्स ट्रेडर वर कन्स्टन्टली ओन्ली देन can you take the characteristics that will allow you to join the slave group of traders who are constantly successful in the market. Only then can you take on the characteristics that will allow you to join the slave group of traders. As the word taking the sounds in the constitution is easy to grasp or easy to put into practice in trading, we have all heard the word and been confronted with the need to take responsibility many times in our life that is easy to take for granted or exactly what the phrase means. I know and learning the appropriate principle for success are instantly connected. You have to understand with every fiber of being the ways in which you are responsible for a success trader. Only then can you take on the character that will do join the city to be trader who are constantly successful in the market. And at the end of chapter 1, the idea of stepping into a future projection of yourself, in other words, the constantly successful trader that you want to become doesn't exist. You must create a new version of yourself, just as sculptures likeness of model. Shaping your mental environment. The tools you will use to create this new version of yourself are your willingness and desire to learn, fueled by your passion to be successful. Okay, the tools you will use to create this new version of yourself are your willingness and desire to learn, fueled by your passion to be successful. And if the willingness and desire to learn are your primary tools, then what is your medium? An artist creating a sculpture can choose to work in a number of medium, clay, marble, or metal, for example. But if you want to create a new version of personality that expresses your constantly successful, you have only your belief and attitude. The medium for your artistic endeavor will be your mental environment which you design to learn. You can structure and install the belief and attitude that are necessary to achieve your ultimate goal. Okay. I'm assuming your ultimate goal is consistency. If you are like most today, you don't realize the fullest potential of opportunities available on you. To realize more and more of the potential to make it more and more of a reality of your life, your primary goal has to be to learn how to think like a constantly successful trader. Even the best traders think in a number of unique ways. They have acquired a mental structure that allows them to trade without fear and that at the same time keeps them from becoming reckless and committing fear-based errors. This mindset has a number of components, but the bottom line is that successful traders have virtually eliminated the effect of fear and recklessness from the trading. These two fundamental characteristics allow them to achieve consistent results. When you acquire this mindset, you too will be able to trade without fear. You will no longer be susceptible to the multitude of fear-based errors that come from rationalizing subconsciously distorting information.